Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. My name's Renee. Thank you so much for clicking on the video. I appreciate y'all being here. And today we're getting into the Beauty Bay Rich palette. So, if you want to see me play with this bad boy today, then stick around because I'll be right back. Alrighty guys, so I got my brows done. I used the brow, what is this, Perfect Brow Styling Duo that I got from Avon, from Mark. And then I used the, where did it go? This Benefit, I think it's like a roller brow, or brow benefit, Perfect Brow, something like that. I don't know, it wore off, so I can't see. So I used this to kind of brush through it. And then I just kind of touched things up with the brow pencil. If you see me off a little bit, it's because I'm using the back camera on my iPad. So hopefully it turns out okay. I just wanted to kind of see if the video quality is any better if I film it this way, but it's hard because I can't see to make sure like I'm in the middle. I do have a mirror back there to kind of, I mean, I think I'm centered, but you know, it is what it is. Let me know if everything looks okay. I don't know if it's too low, if it's like, I think it's good. I think it's good. I think we're good. Anyways, I got the P. Louise Eye Base in, I think this is Rumor 01. Yes, Rumor 01. And I keep wanting to look. Anyways, yeah. So, let's see. What shade do I want to get into? I also put on, I used the P. Louise Let's Cool It Off spray, moisturizing spray. I sprayed that on. I used a little bit of the P. Louise Play It Cool infused with hyaluronic acid. This is a cooling primer. I used that. And then I also put on the Elta MD skin, it's like SPF. I got it when I had my eye surgery. So I use that sometimes, and sometimes I just use regular SPF. What brush do I want to use? Dun, 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 dun. Do I want to do the berries or the browns? Oh, I got an itch. I got an itch. I think we're going to go, I don't think I've used the berries yet. So what shade is this? Mulberry? I think this one right here we're going to use. So I was on the TikTok, right? And there's this girl I follow, and she had posted a video. It's public on a public platform, so I'm not like telling her story. I'm kind of using her story to tell mine. But anyways, she was talking about how she was grieving because she found out that at her age, which is under 40, that she is pretty far into perimenopause. And this one girl posted a comment on her video. Like, I don't mean to be insensitive, but what exactly are you grieving? So she replied to that comment and posted a video explaining to this girl who deserves no explanation. Obviously, if you're smart in the head, you understand what somebody who's going through perimenopause is grieving. Everybody grieves differently. Some people, maybe they're excited to go through menopause. Some people, maybe not so much, especially when you're younger. You know what I mean? Men can have babies until the day they die, but women can't. So, I don't know, maybe be a little smart before you leave a comment like that and understand what somebody is grieving. You know, just because you might have a certain amount of kids or you're kind of finished with your family doesn't mean that you still wouldn't grieve the loss of being able to have children. So for somebody to leave an insensitive comment like that is really crazy to me. You know what I mean? Like, and so she had replied explaining, you know, what she was grieving. And the comment that chick left on that video was 3 3 of the laughy emojis, the ones that have the tears coming out, like cry laughing. Rude. So freaking rude. So when I was, and here's a big misconception. There's a big misconception that you can't go through menopause at a younger age. But if you actually talk to doctors, like, I'm not a professional or anything, but I have talked to my doctors, and you can start menopause as early as 35 years old. Are you going to be completely in menopause at that age? No, you're not. But your body starts to change probably about mid-30s, where your I think it's your estrogen levels start to decrease, and your ovaries don't produce eggs like they did when you were in your 20s. They just don't. So it can be more difficult to get pregnant in your 30s. So I did not know that's what it was. I started perimenopause probably 35-ish. I started getting hot flashes. My periods were very irregular. I would go 3 months without having a period. I would think I was pregnant. I would go to the doctor, have a pregnancy test. It would come up negative. And then I would have my period. Like, sometimes my period would start the day before my doctor's appointment to go see if I was pregnant. So that went on for a few years. And then I had skipped like 2 or 3 periods just like that. And then I would have a period for a certain amount of time. And then I would have a period for a year. And then I would skip for a couple months. And then I would have a period for a couple months. And then I would skip. And it was like that for many years. And every time, like, I would skip a period for a certain amount of time. I think there was like maybe, I don't know, 3 or 4 times that I made doctor's appointments because I thought maybe I was pregnant, because at that time I had wanted to have another child. And the thing about it is I really wanted to have another child earlier, but my ex-husband didn't want to have a child that soon after we had our son. And so by the time he was ready, it was basically too late. If I wanted to have a child, I would have had to have gone through like a lot, to get my eggs to produce more. Like, I'm thinking I would have had to get shots or take medication and stuff like that. And it just, I just don't know that I would have wanted to do all of that. This, like, is so crooked. It's so crooked, you guys. But I don't think it's something that we talk about enough, perimenopause, and the fact that a lot of women go through it and don't know that's what's happening to them. Your moods change. Your body's just going through a lot of changes. And for someone to be so insensitive to the fact that you're grieving the fact that your body's not going to be able to do what it's done for so many years, it's hard. You know what I mean? Like, it was hard for me to come to the realization that I was not going to have another child, because I have one. And I love my son very much, but I also feel bad that he doesn't have any siblings. It breaks my heart, because I grew up, I mean, I have 4 sisters. Well, 5 really, because I consider my stepsister my sister too. But I grew up with my 2 sisters, Missy and Brandy, are the ones that I grew up my whole life with. And when I lost my mom, and then when I lost my sister, 2 of my sisters, like, I don't know what I would have done without having a sibling. So for me, it's hard to like to accept the fact that my son doesn't have a sibling that he can fall back on. You know, he has cousins that, you know, he can get support from and everything, but if anything was to happen to myself or his dad, like it breaks my heart that he doesn't have anybody to share in that with, you know what I mean? Because honestly, I don't know what I would have done had I not had my siblings, you know? So, like, if you know somebody that's going through it, be understanding to them about it, because it's not an easy thing to go through, and it's not an easy thing to accept. I don't know what, I think maybe that'll be it for that shade. I think I'm going to go into this brush right here. But it was rough. And you think you just start perimenopause and then go straight into menopause? No. I still am having like symptoms. Like right now, I'm having a freaking hot flash as we speak. And I'm 52. And I started the process in my mid-30s. That's a long time to have to go through that. And I never knew about this until I was almost completely in menopause. And I asked my doctor about it, and she says that we don't consider you menopause until you go a full year without having a cycle. So, but she never ever said anything about perimenopause. That irritates me. You know what I mean? Like, you could have explained, like, she could have explained what perimenopause was and how long you can suffer through it. You know what I mean? But, like, I had my last cycle, it's been almost 6 years. So 46, 47. So perimenopause, like 10 years. And then you can go through menopause for like 10 years. And then there's postmenopause. And then there's the weight gain, the mood swings, the hot flashes, you know, a lot of stuff that comes with it. And it's a rough thing to go through. And I think women need to be more supportive of women going through stuff like this. So when I saw that comment and the videos, I just felt the need myself to talk about it, because I think it's really, really sad that people aren't more supportive and understanding when somebody is struggling through something, because everybody's different. And while maybe it's not a big deal for you, and I don't know, this chick looked a little bit younger, so she probably isn't experiencing stuff like that, but to just be rude like that just irritates me. You know what I mean? Like, have a little empathy and understanding and sympathy for somebody going through something difficult for them, you know? All right, so I used this shade right here, and which is, I think it's mulberry, and then cranberry. I think this shade is cranberry right here. That's the one that I used. I think I might want to go in with this shade right here, which is Spritz, I think. I wish they wouldn't use that shiny writing. So I'm going to go in with this shade right here, just on the inner part, and maybe blend it a little bit into the, what is it? Gosh, dang it. These are so hard to read. Cranberry. I think it's cranberry. But like I said, it's hard to read because it's shiny writing. Tap this right in here and kind of blend it into the other one. Maybe I'll use my finger and kind of tap onto it, because I don't think these shades necessarily go together all that well. Use my finger and just tap on top. But if you're struggling with perimenopause or menopause, just know that you're not alone. There are other women out here that are suffering with it, that have suffered with it, that are still, you know, they understand. So if you're really, really struggling, I would suggest maybe finding some sort of a support group of other women that are going through it as well. You know what I mean? So that you, like, you really have that support system and know that you're not alone, that there's other women that are going through it and are struggling just as much as you are, you know? But I'm here to tell you that I've been going through this for 15 years, you know? I mean, I'm pretty sure I was about 35, 36 when it all started. Slowly, you know what I mean? Like skipping periods here and there. And then it started getting more often and longer times. And like it was a long process. It wasn't just like you kind of skip a few periods and then you're in menopause. No, it's a long process. It's hard. And the hot flashes, let me tell you something. They're rough. They're really rough. But thank God I don't get the like night sweats. I mean, I get warm at night and I just take my blanket off, and then I get cold, so I have to put my blanket back on. But I don't like wake up sopping wet like I've heard some women do. But just know that if you do experience that, just because I'm not experiencing that doesn't mean that there aren't other women that have the same symptoms. You know what I mean? And if you're younger and you're noticing, you know, changes, because for me, I was pretty regular. But if you are pretty regular and you're noticing differences and you're in your mid 30s, mid to late 30s, there's a good possibility you could be going through perimenopause and on your way to the change. But it's really not like, I mean, I'm grateful that mine isn't as bad as it could have been. You know what I mean? Like, I am, like, the stuff sucks. I'm not gonna lie. There's parts of it that really suck, but I also know that it could be a lot worse. You know what I mean? So don't be too hard on yourself. Do things that make you feel happy. You know, if you like hiking or whatever, like, just do things that bring joy to your life to help you through the process. Going for walks, you know, because your body does change. It's not as easy to lose weight as it once was. I lost a lot of weight when I was having thyroid issues, and pretty much almost all of that weight has come back on, which is disheartening because I don't feel like I'm not active, you know what I mean? So going through perimenopause and menopause and postmenopause, it's hard because you can't lose weight as easily as you used to be able to. You know what I mean? Like when I was younger, I could probably just go out and walk 30 minutes a day and the weight would melt off, and that's not going to work for me now. But anyways, this is what we've got going on right here. I'm going to go ahead and get off of here. I'm going to finish up my makeup and I'll come back with the final look. So don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. All right, guys, I'm back and the look is done. So let's go into this palette. Dun, 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 dun. I used this shade right here. This shade right here. Oh, let me get, hold on. This shade, this shade, this shade. And I use this shade for the inner corner. I put a little bit of this on the lower lash line and it's on the outer V there. I think it came out pretty good. And tapping this shimmer shade right here on top, I think it helped kind of blend everything together, in my opinion. For blush, I used this shade right here. For my bronzer, I used Gourmande Beauty. That's the shade right there. I have this mascara on, which I got from the Dollar Tree. It doesn't really have a name. It just says mascara. So I put some on and then curled my lashes and then put a little bit more on. Is it the best mascara? Probably not. I think Essence Lash Princess is probably my favorite. I did use this on the lower lash line as well. I have the LA Colors Brow and Liner Pencil on my tight line. I've got Sky Blue from Avon on my waterline. Let's see, what else? What else? I did use the Color Science Concealer. For my foundation, I've got the Rimmel Stay Matte. I just used a little bit this time, and I think it feels a lot better. And I also used more of the setting spray to hydrate my face because it is very matte foundation. I didn't use any powder to set down my face. I got to do my lips. Trusty Good and Plenty from ColourPop. All right, and then I'm going to take the Shantakai that I got in my lucky bag, and then Wayne Goss, which I got in a lucky bag. Top it off with this. I think it looks good. What are we thinking, guys? And I just kind of put one of my new headbands in my hair, and that's about all she wrote. I did spray a little bit of water in it. I think my curls are looking better. I don't know. Maybe I'm just like, I don't know. But I think they're looking better. I think I'm going to let you guys go because I got to get out the door and get to work. Woohoo! Just remember, you're not alone if you're going through perimenopause or menopause. It can take a toll on your body, on your mental health. It really can. And I've struggled, like, and probably a lot of times didn't even realize that it was because of the perimenopause and menopause that I was struggling mentally and physically. So, yeah, just keep in mind that it's not just you, that a lot of us are struggling with it. You're not alone. You're not alone. And with that being said, I'm going to let you guys go. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy the video, I hope that you will join the family if you haven't already. Just hit that subscribe button. Make sure you turn the notification bell up to all. That way, hopefully YouTube will notify you when I make a new upload. Give the video a thumbs up and leave a comment down below. Say hi. Let me know that you stopped by. And let me know what are your experiences with it. And I hope I'll see you all in my next video. Bye, guys.